talent and treasures. And there are many in this room today who donate to us on a regular basis or have stepped forward because of the Fire Fund. And you know who you are, and I thank you tremendously for what you do, and I appreciate that you do it and hope you continue to do it. But there are many in this room who haven't, can't, choose not to, but there are many here who do other things. Our food is provided by a graduate from 1972 who donates food to us because that's what he can and chooses to do. We have a gentleman in the room from the class of '87 who is a retired New York Police Department, and he comes in and helps us with security matters. We have someone from the class of '99 who is not here today, but he is my graphic designer, and believe me if I told you, if you knew the prices of graphic designers, you wouldn't believe what I'd have to pay to have him. John Agnesini, right. So, there are many things that we need that could be provided by alumni or friends of alumni or family of alumni that we are presently paying for. And if we're paying for it, we're taking money that we are either getting from tuition or donations and having to spend it on things. We have our printer here today. Marty Rago works for our printing company, and he has been wonderful in dealing with us and giving us great prices. Again, he deals with a lot of Catholic schools. He is not an alumni, but he's very involved in helping us fundraise better. So what I ask of you is to understand that there are many things that you can be doing for us that don't have to be a check. Again, I'm never refusing the check, just to be clear on that. But it doesn't have to be that, and it can be both. You're here today so we can tell you what we need, and we need much. And if you can help fill some of those voids, then we don't have to go out and pay somebody who does. And one of our board members, Joe Salamini, has been great at that because he's brought in people who have been able to work on the properties and the maintenance of the property and the upkeep of the property, which if any of you own homes know how much your property costs to run. Think about this one. Joe has been able to recruit, I think maybe he's dragged people in at times, but he's been able to get people to come in and say, you know what, I'll put that fence up for you and I won't charge you. I'll do the cement, I'll take care of it. So there are so many things you could be doing for us that don't have to be the checkbook. There is a list that's at the front desk. Hopefully you've gotten that, the volunteer list. We're looking for people to be in here who can help us out here with things administrative or substitute teaching. I could go on and on. Or things that can be done like public relations, helping us write newsletters, printers, anything that we can, a TV. Somebody who works at PC Richards can donate a TV to our raffle. Those are the kinds of things we're looking for. And so that form is there for you to tell us who you are and what you can and will do for us. Because I'm going to presume if you're here today, you're here because you can and you will. That's what I'm going to guess. And then I'm going to presume when you leave here, you're going to tell your friends and say, if I can, you can. That's what I would like you to do as well. I'm always available. You can call my office anytime. Rosalia and I will take your call if you have any questions. If you've heard a rumor, which by the way, there's lots of them out there, I'd like you to come to me about it and not just go around and tell other people about it, because 9 times out of 10 they're just rumors and they're not true. Come to us, full disclosure. We'll tell you whatever you want to know. If you donate money to us, that money's going directly to what you want it to go to, which is these students back here who are wonderful and dedicated and want to be here so badly, and they are a testament to the wonderful youth of today. Believe me, I deal with them every day and they're just a pleasure. So if you give us your money, I assure you, we're not wasting it. Trust me on that, we're not doing that. It's all we do to not do that, because we know how hard you work for your money when you give it to us. A couple things. We have a golf outing coming up in May. May 13th is our golf outing. Susan Bishop, who's on the board, is running it. We need committee members. If anybody loves to play golf or has access to golf prizes or just wants to be at the event, because it's really a lot of fun even if you don't play, because I didn't play and I loved it. But whatever you want to do, we'd love your help. We're planning a big 65th anniversary for St. Helena, the founding of St. Helena High School. That's going to take place Columbus Day weekend this year. We need committee members. We need people to help. We need people to rally the troops. the more people who walk into this school and see who we are and the product of who we are, which is, again, these wonderful, wonderful students. By the way, surrounded by wonderful faculty and staff, I might add, that when you see the face of this school, you can't not want to be a part of it. I swear to you on that. And I have never, in my 2.5 years, had any alumni ever come up to me and say, "Oh God, I hated being here that day. Oh my God, that experience was awful. I'm so sorry I came." It's just the opposite. You tell me how wonderful your experience was, and the students tell me how wonderful it was to meet you. So please, please, I ask you, this is a great gathering today. A wonderful amount of people came. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it so much. And it's been my privilege to do what I do and to hear stories from all of you and meet all of you as I have. And I can't thank you enough, except to say we have so much more to do, and that's why you're here today. We need to go to the next step. It's very, very important. We cannot sit and rest on our laurels. We have to move ahead. And on that note, I'm going to introduce Chris Cowan, who is one of our board members, and she's from the class of 65. Thank you.
I'm so glad to see all of you here. We were worried how many would come. We had a planning meeting. We said, well, if we get a dozen, that's good.
Yeah.
I said, what about 50? No, 50, we'll see. But we really are thrilled that you came. And I know some of you came from pretty far away, New Jersey, Staten Island, Brooklyn. You could have spent time with your family. You came to us, and we do appreciate that very much. I graduated in the class of 65. You may recognize my name, Chris Cowan. My maiden name was Fox because in the annual report, I'm the one that wrote that article, Back to the Future. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, the future of these students and your future. Their future lies in education, and you all know that better than I because we're all where we are today because of the education we got here, the encouragement we've gotten to go on to higher ed. I remember, for those of you who were here with Miss Murphy, she recently passed away, Dr. Murphy. She was our guidance counselor. We had a guidance counselor. And she said, you have to take this test. It's called the College Board. And she showed us how to fill out the paper. I went down to Flushing High School, took a 3-hour exam, had 2 choices, St. John's University or Hunter College. And I wanted to be a teacher. So my mother said, well, you can apply for St. John's, but if you get into Hunter, you're going to go there because there's no tuition. And, you know, we have your brother 2 years behind you. So I got into St. John's, I got into Hunter. I hadn't even seen the place, but my girlfriends here lived in the Bronx, I lived in Queens. They said, don't go to Queens College, come with us to Hunter. And I did, and became a teacher. Actually, 45 years ago, I started teaching, and I'm now retired. But I thank the school for that opportunity that Mrs. Murphy said, you can get into Hunter. I didn't think I could, but she said, oh yes, you can. You just have to try. So it's for myself, I did exactly what I wanted to do. I became a teacher thanks to the encouragement here. So now we have these students. Now, when I was here, and I'm sure the same with you, most of us were the children, first or second generation immigrant families. My grandparents were born in Italy. My father was born in Scotland. Most of the girls I went to school with, grandparents born in Ireland or Italy or Poland or Germany. That's what the mix was. And our families, we didn't have a lot of money. We were probably, I would say most of us, with few exceptions, were blue-collar workers. But we had a goal. We were going to go to college. I would say I don't even think 50% of my graduating class went on to college. A lot of girls went on to secretarial school, went on to work. And it was just cut and dry and simple. We had part-time jobs. We helped pay for our tuition. But today, it's very, very different. The students that we service today, 40% of them live at the poverty level. Many of them come from homes where no one speaks English, maybe never graduated from high school. And you might say, well, that's true about me too. But think about this. My brother had a part-time job. He's here, by the way. And he was able to pay his tuition, $15 a month. I bet a lot of you paid your own tuition. Okay, the tuition today is $6,600. That's before the fees, which bring it up to $8,100. Think about that. So what job would a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old have to get to pay that tuition? It's almost impossible, right? And so they come to us for help. They want desperately to be here. The graduation rate in the Bronx schools now is probably maybe 50%. I don't even think it was that. It's that. Our graduation rate is 98%. That's shocking. Think about that. Think about living in an area. I had a mother at the beginning of the year comes, because what I do now is help with recruitment, but I also talk to families about financial aid. I had a mother call me up, single parent, she's a college graduate, living from paycheck to paycheck. She lived in a neighborhood with her son, and she says, I have to move. She says, there's been drive-by shootings and there's drugs are rampant. I cannot live in this neighborhood. She says, I found a place right near the high school around here. She says, but my rent's gonna go up $400 a month. What do I do? Well, she's like, I can't do it by myself. I need your help. Of course, we step in and we help. So there are people trying very, very hard. And you know, when Hillary Clinton said it takes a village to raise a child, that is so true. I don't care what your political persuasions are, but it's absolutely true. So how does this have to do with your future? Well, how I see it is this. Let's take it from a selfish point of view. For every kid that graduates from here and goes on and gets an education and becomes a productive citizen and has children of their own and push education, that's one less failure. That's one less person ending up on a welfare roll or in trouble or into drugs or an unwanted pregnancy. Think about it. It's an investment in our future, because ultimately who will have to pay the price for that? We will, as taxpayers. So it's really a cut and dry thing as far as I can see. If we promote them, in the end, they'll be there to become productive citizens and makes for a better community for us. So, I know Karen didn't want to ask for money, but we do need money. Believe me, we do. And you can send it for scholarship, for financial aid. I promise you, we'll tell you about the student, where it's going, and how you're going to help. So yeah, we do need money. But the other thing we need, which Karen's talked about, was volunteering, mentors. They say that is the deciding factor in turning a life around, is a mentor. Money, yes, but mentoring. Someone that takes an interest. So your sheet that we gave out, and if you didn't get one, you should take one, with some suggestions. For example, tutoring. Now, in the community that I live in, and with the district that I worked in, teachers were paid $85 an hour for tutoring. If you tutor a 4th grade student, you can get paid $85 an hour. I never did it, but my friends do. These families can't afford $85 an hour to get someone to tutor them in math. So here's where you come in. Tutoring, if you're willing and able, once in a while, you can pick a day or a couple of times a month, come to school to do some tutoring. Mentoring, just coming to talk. When I walk through the halls, sometimes I see a kid, I just stand there and talk to them. It's just interesting to hear what they're doing, what they're planning. Remember, they don't necessarily come from homes where they're hearing those kinds of conversations about college and what you need to do to get yourself into college. Writing the college essay. I know people that pay someone to help their kid do that. That's a business that people have. We don't have that. I mean, we have guidance counselors, we have 2 of them here that are outstanding and devote a lot of time. But there's something else. You can come and visit with a child, you know, time of the day, they'll set that up. You can sit with them, work through their college essay, helping them out. Your own alumni association, wherever you went to college, maybe you'd like to come and talk about your school. The other thing, there was a couple of kids that want to go visit some colleges nearby. Maybe somebody would be willing to do that. Take 3 or 4 of them to one of the local colleges for a tour. Some of them can't get there. That's a possibility. Referrals, alma maters, any way that you can to help them expand their horizons. Some of them need to expand their horizons. They don't know anything but right here in the Bronx. If you went away to a state school, maybe you can come and talk about that experience. Coaching, helping with coaching. Career counseling, maybe there's something you do professionally that you'd like to share how you got there and how rewarding it was for you. After school and summer jobs, that's the biggie here. These kids need jobs.